All right. I welcome each and every one of you here today. My name is Tonya, and this is a comeback yoga all levels class. If you're not familiar with comeback yoga, we're a nonprofit organization based out of Denver, Colorado, serving veterans and active duty military, along with your support team. We're here for 45 minutes in this all levels yoga class, providing you with some variations of postures so, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So, you'll need a yoga mat or a mat, just something to provide some cushioning underneath you, as well as a little bit of traction for under your feet. And if you'd like to use anything else, you can today for your practice. Nothing else is really needed but a willingness to participate. Thanks for being here. We're going to start on our back today. If that's a comfortable position for you, you also might want something under your head or under your back. And your knees can be bent or legs straight. So we're going to start stretching out the spine, getting maybe some morning tiredness out of you if you're waking up. And gonna just let those knees, if your knees are bent, just let your knees kind of rest against one another. And your arms can be in any comfortable position. We're going to do a brief body scan here to notice just how our breath is, how our body feels on the mat, on the surface. And so give yourself a couple of moments here as we go inward to feel what's how our body is resting on the surface, how we're touching, how the parts of our body are touching the surface. Does the temperature of the surface feel warm or cool? Are there parts of our body that are comfortable or uncomfortable? Is there relief in this position or not? And now let's begin to notice our breath as we bring our attention to the tip of the nose, noticing maybe if the breath is coming in there. Is it more on the right or the left nostril? If we're unable to breathe through our nose today because it's blocked, our sinuses are blocked, or we have some other, maybe a deviated septum or something, and breathing in through the mouth, noticing the temperature of the in breath, and then noticing how the out breath, what the temperature is like. And if you are breathing through your nose, does the one nostril tend to dominate over the other? And let's just take a few more breaths here. And noticing now how your breath comes into your body and where you go with the breath. Does it move into your upper or middle chest? Do you feel it in the lower chest, lower torso? Even placing your hands on your stomach to feel if there's any movement of body with breath as your hands maybe move with your body on that in breath and then release downward with the out breath. We'll take two more breaths here, breathing in, feeling parts of you that breathe in, and then releasing out the fullness of the breath. One more time. Good. And go ahead and bring one knee into your chest, holding on to the back of your leg. Circle your ankle. And then Straightening your arms out, but keep a hold of your leg and straighten your leg to the ceiling and bend. Just moving smoothly, maybe noticing any, snap, crackle, pop in the joint, or maybe it's more in the tendons or muscles are tight, or whatever it is you might notice. And then placing that foot down to the floor. Bring your other knee into your chest. Circle your ankle. And go the other direction. Straighten your leg. And bend. And straighten. And bend. And straighten. And then placing that foot down to the floor. Let your feet come together and your knees go out wide, and then we'll bring the knees back up together, squeezing at the top, and then knees out. When your knees come up, your feet go flat. We'll just move this way 3 more times, squeezing in, 2, and 1. Separate your feet about hip distance now, and bring one knee up towards the chest, and then circle it out and around. So just a movement of the hip joint here, and then we'll wake up the upper body here in a moment. So taking that knee or that hip in the opposite direction. And then placing that foot down and switch legs. Other direction. And stretch out your whole body. And then come onto one side. Your legs can be straight or bent if you like. It might be better here actually to bend the knees out in front for more stability. You're going to take the top arm and circle it. So if you need to bring your hand to your shoulder to take some of the strain out of the shoulder, you can. You can also rest your head on your arm or on a pillow. Let's go the other direction. Okay. And then bring your hand behind your head, stretching that elbow or that tricep. Use that top arm, push yourself up. And then let's go to the other side. Hand on the shoulder, circling that shoulder. Other direction. And then bringing your hand behind your head, stretching that tricep. All right, and let's come on up. Straightening both legs forward, flexing and pointing your feet. And then bring your arms forward, flex your wrist, and draw your elbows to your sides. Open your chest. Arms forward, flex your feet here, so toes towards the knees, and then point your feet, draw your elbows back. 2 more times, bringing the arms forward and then squeezing those elbows in. 1 more time. Good. All right, let's come on around to a downward facing dog. So you can start with the hands under the shoulders and then begin to lift the hips up so the shoulders now come behind the wrists. Take a couple of moments there to stretch out through your legs. Can bend and straighten, kind of walking in place. And then walk your hands and feet together, ending up where you end up. Maybe it's the middle of the mat. And bend your knees enough to lay your chest down onto your knees or your thighs. Look forward, place your hands on your legs, and then continue to rise as you look forward and come up. All right, from standing, bring those arms straight forward, flex your wrists, and draw your elbows to your sides. Come up onto your toes, and then lower down, arms forward. Lift up onto your toes, elbows back. Come down, arms forward. Elbows back, rise up to toes. Come down, arms forward. Pull back, up onto toes. It's getting a little easier, huh? Let's do 2 more. And down. All right. So from the front, taking your, turn this guy around. From the front, feet about hip distance apart. Turn your palms out, lift your arms up overhead. Pinkies can come up longer. And then exhale, lower your hips for a chair pose. You can have a little bend in the knees or a big bend, keeping your hips back behind those heels. Now bring your hands down to the ground, straighten out the legs if you like, and then step one leg back. Looking forward, hands coming next to the front foot. Big long stretch here. Plant your hands and step the front leg back to a plank pose. Option is to be down onto the knees, back behind the hips. From here, we're going to bend the elbows back a little and then press back up. Try to keep your hips somewhat lifted. Elbows go back and then back up. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, inhale, and then exhale, inhale, and then come all the way down to your stomach. Point your feet, slide those hands, arms back behind you, a little lift of the triceps, the arms. Keep your hips down, keep your legs down as you lift your chest. And bring your hands back behind the shoulders, tuck your toes, press back up, downward facing dog again. Walk your feet to your hands or hands to your feet, however you get there, bending those knees a little or a lot. Now we'll bend the knees and rise all the way to standing. Sweep those arms up to the ceiling and then bring your palms together in front of your chest. Pressing the palms together, notice some strength that comes into the upper chest. With your next inhale, we'll bring the arms straight forward again, flexing the wrists. Squeeze those elbows in, come up onto those toes. You remember now, right? Lower the heels, arms forward. starting to come back. Exhale, elbows back, coming down to the toes. 2 more times. And 1 more. And down. Good. Arms out, palms out. Lift those arms up with an inhale, big stretch. Exhale into your chair position like you're going to sit into a chair. The hips going back and down. Now bring your hands down to the ground and straighten your legs out a little or a lot, or not at all, depending on how long your arms are. Now bend your knees, and if you recall which leg you stepped back that last time, don't stress out about it, but we're going to step the other leg back, coming into the lunge. Back leg is nice and long. Look forward, push down into that front foot so you feel that lower body become alive, enlivened, strengthened, powered down to power in. Step that front leg back into a plank. And then knees down. Now I've made a fist for my wrist so that I don't strain my wrist. So you can do that as well. You can make a fist, thumbs forward to support, and then you can bend your elbows back for 3, up, 2, and 1, coming all the way down again to your stomach. Point your toes, send those arms back behind you, lift your chest, squeeze your back side as you open your chest, and then come down. Press up and back, downward dog. Step your feet up to your hands or hands to your feet, forward fold. We're going to add a boat pose. So you're going to bring your hands back behind you. Come on down to your bottom. Grab the back of your legs. Your elbows are going to go out wide. So I'll show from the front, elbows going out wide and holding on to the back of your legs. With your exhale, sort of scoop or hollow out your abdomen here as you roll back just enough till you start to feel your core muscles. Now you can keep a hold of the legs here or take your arms out. Keep your core engaged. This might be where you stay. You might take a leg, you might take the other leg, and you might take both legs. Don't lose the core strength here, though. Maybe your arms go out. Maybe your feet stay on the floor. You've got choices. Pick your choice for 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Yogis, roll it on down with those elbows out. You're going to roll down. Slide your feet in. We've got bridge pose here with a one-legged bridge. So first, press down into the arms, press down into your feet, and lift your hips. Now, if it feels safe, press down into one foot and lift the other knee to your chest. If that feels safe, you want to extend your leg to the ceiling. Bring your knee back into your chest and lower your foot down, same side. Knee to chest, leg up, knee to chest, and down, same side. One more, knee to chest, up, knee to chest, and down. Press down into that foot, lift up, knee to chest, leg up, knee to chest, and down. Knee to chest, same leg, up, knee to chest, push down into those arms, foot down, one more time, knee to chest, up, knee to chest, and foot down. One little lift here at the top, and then slowly come down. All right, nice job, yogis. Take a moment, let those knees fall together, walk your feet to the edge of your mat, adjust anywhere you might need in your body. Got one more little core challenge for you here for the sides. So come onto one side and then press up to just your forearm. So your forearm runs the length, or it runs parallel, I should say, to the short edge of your mat. Legs go out straight. And here might be enough to lift your waist away from the floor. Next option is to bend the knees. Push down to lift your hips up. And then feel the waist lifting as you bring the top arm up. And then maybe lift your top leg for 3, 2, 1. Come on down. We're going to do that again. Your next option is to bring your hand to the floor. Your hand goes in front of the shoulder so that this becomes a 90-degree angle. So here again, you can lift up. You can also straighten your legs. One leg can stay on the ground for a plank variation like so. You can even lift your leg up and then down. Okay. Come down to your plank. So maybe it's a hands and knees plank. Maybe it's a hands and toes plank. Maybe it's on the forearms plank for 2 and 1. Okay, let's do the other side. Show all those variations again, but maybe you have a variation that you prefer and you can do it now. You can start with me, knees bent, top leg out. Maybe lift up, and there's your one position here. Next option, full forearm plank. Next option, side plank on the hand, the knee to the floor, leg lifted. Next option is full side plank. So those are your variations. Okay, let's bring the knee down, coming into our plank with the option of forearm plank, right? So you can have those hands clasped, pressing your forearms down, and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Knees down, chest forward, open up, Sphinx pose. Pressing the hips down slightly, engaging your backside. And then pressing up. Walk the knees in, move your arms forward. Hips go back towards or to the heels. Heels can be lifted or lowered by pointing or flexing the feet. Downward facing dog. Looking to your hands, walk up or bring your hands back to your feet, forward fold. Bend your knees and come all the way up to standing, stretching up, and then bring your hands in front of your heart. All right. We've got one more round on each side. We will add a crescent lunge and then go to the ground for some stretching. So I will cue the foot, the leg, just so that we both remember. Sometimes I forget too. Okay, so from standing, take those arms forward, flexing your wrist, draw your elbows to your sides and come up onto your tippy toes. Let's do 2 more. Notice if you can hold the standing on the toes a little longer this time as those elbows come back. You're getting stronger, right? One more time. All right, coming into chair, arms go out, arms lift. Hips go down and back. Come down to the floor. You can keep the knees bent. Now you're going to step the leg that's closest to the screen, closest towards me. Step that leg back. Okay. Now push down onto that front leg. Get a moment of stability, and then we'll come all the way up. Maybe one or both arms lift up to your crescent, high crescent lunge. Bring your hands back down to your leg and then to the floor. Notice which foot is forward. Step back, downward dog. Coming to your plank position. Let's move into our side plank. So maybe knee comes down, turning to the side. Hand down, maybe knee down, turning to the other side. Hand down, weight forward, come on down to your stomach. Engage your glutes, lift your legs this time, and then send your arms back. So it's like what we were doing kind of on when we're standing. We're kind of up on those tippy toes. And then bring your hands back, lower down, tuck your toes under, and lift up and back to downward facing dog. Look forward and walk your feet to your hands. Come all the way to standing. Reach up, palms pressed together, and exhale. Send your arms forward, flex the wrists, elbows to your sides, come up onto those toes. We got 3 of these here. Notice what's out in front of you. Lower your hips, arms forward. 2 more. Notice your breath. Last one. Let's see if we can hold it for a little longer. Up onto those toes. Take your time, no hurry. And then lower down. Chair pose. Those arms sweep out and up. Hips go back. Come forward and fold. Stepping the leg furthest away from me back into that lunge. Your hands framing that front foot. Now push downward into that front foot. Climb up onto your leg here. One or both arms come up for your crescent lunge. Hands down to the ground. Step that front leg back. Plank pose. Take your variation of side plank. Maybe feeling stronger and you want to do the full side plank, or again, meeting yourself where you're at for the other side plank variations. Plank, and then coming to your stomach. Sending the arms and the legs up into the air, pressing your hips down, tucking your chin slightly. Lower down, turn your head this time to one side. If that doesn't feel good on your neck, then rest your head on your hands. And if it feels okay, turn your head to the other side. And then come back to center. Rest your head on both of your hands. Head down. Notice your breath slowing down, feeling the maybe your stomach pressing into the floor as you breathe in and release. Two more breaths. Right. Roll to one side and bring that top leg into your chest, grabbing your ankle or foot, and bring your leg back behind you for a sensation in the front of that top hip or that big muscle known as the quad or the quadricep. If you don't feel anything, think about engaging your backside, your glutes, your buttocks, press your hips forward, and maybe get a little bit more sensation in that quad. We'll hold it here for about 4 more breaths. So continue to move and self regulate into sensation that feels safe, but yet maybe it's that sensation that is relieving, feeling the tissues hydrating for one more breath. And then release. And we'll do the other side. Grabbing that ankle or knee. You might even bend your bottom leg for stability. Maybe your head resting on your bottom arm, or you can prop your head up onto your hand or rest on a pillow or blanket. Press your hips forward by engaging your backside, getting sensation in the quad. Two more breaths here. And then straighten. Bring those knees up close to your chest. And pause here for a few moments. Use your top hand to press yourself up. Come on around and then come onto your back. Bring your knees to your chest. Lift your head and shoulders up. And then lower your head and shoulders down. Keep one leg into your chest. Send the bottom leg straight. Place that foot on top of the other leg, so maybe holding onto it with your opposite hand, and then twist over that way. Open your Outside arm, look over your arm or shoulder. Deep, smooth breaths in here. 3 more times. And then come back. Bend your bottom leg. Take this top foot, place it on the ankle or on the knee. And then you're going to take your hand, push your leg slightly away from you, and just hold here for about 5 breaths. Now, either stay there or thread your hands through to bring your leg up into or towards your chest. This elbow, you can use it to push away or push your knee away. And take that foot to the floor. Place both feet down. Let your knees come together and your feet to the edge of the mat. And then we'll do the other side. So first the knee comes into the chest. Your bottom leg goes straight. And then place that foot on your bottom leg and rotate to a twist. Your top arm opening back behind you. And then coming back, bend that bottom leg. Take your ankle to knee. Push your leg away from you with the same hand and hold here for 5 breaths. Now thread your hands through to grab your leg. Maybe using your elbow to press your knee away. All right, taking those feet down to the floor, let your knees come together. And then bring your feet about hip distance, and you're going to grab opposite shoulders here as you slowly lift your hips up to a bridge pose. And then one vertebra at a time, come back down to the floor. Two more times. One vertebra at a time, lifting up away from the ground. Squeeze the shoulders in and come down one more time. And then switch the shoulders, switch the hands for three bridges, lifting up and down. Two more. And last one. All right. And then windshield wiper your legs, moving those knees side to side. And then finding a comfortable position for your body for about 3 or 4 minutes of relaxation. So we're just going to drop in for a moment of integration and stillness. So your eyes can remain open or allow your eyelids to be heavy and rest against your eyes as you notice the surface beneath you and an overall sense of whatever your current experience is. Is there a felt sense of well being, of peace, of comfort? Is there anything else that you'd like to do in your body? Any other kind of movements or positions? It could be sitting, laying down, or on your side. And taking about 5 more deep breaths here, wherever you are. Noticing now if one nostril is more dominant than the other, or if there is more ease in your breath for 4 more breaths. Nice and easy breath for 3 more. 2 more. And last one. And now start to move maybe your fingers and toes, circling your ankles and wrists. And if you were laying down and would like to bring yourself upright, go ahead and meet me there in an upright position to finish our lesson today. I just want to thank you all for being here. It's been an honor to guide you in today's all levels yoga class here on behalf of Comeback Yoga. Thanks again. I hope you remain well, stay well, be well, and I'll see you next time. If you have the ability to subscribe today, it's easy to do usually. Just hit the button and you'll be notified of upcoming classes we have, as well as if you have the means to donate, we accept your donation, whatever level, whatever you're capable of doing. We really appreciate all that you do. And I'll see you next time. Take good care.